Okay, this is a demo and I guess a tutorial on the ratio test. To get to the ratio mode, what we have here is the initial boot up menu, or the screen you get if you press the menu key and return to the main menu. I'm going to press ratio on here, select CT ratio low. There are two ranges. One provides 0 to 200 volts excitation, the other 0 to 1000. The 0 to 1000 CT ratio high is only required on a ratio above 10,000 to 5 to get enough resolution on the induced voltage in the one-turn secondary. So it's not normally, almost never has to be used. CT ratio low, I'll select that. This is an 800 to 5 CT, and it's suited for the low range. Okay, the low range actually has two measurement ranges. It goes from 0 to 20 volts, and then auto ranges and goes from 20 to 200 volts to provide, maximum significant figures, maximum resolution in attaining a 0.1% accurate ratio test. So what I will do is, first we can observe that there's instructions on the screen. There is an instruction book, but on the screen you have a picture and some information on how to test a CT, and you can go back and forth between the two pages of the instructions. And what I'll do now is we'll just go ahead and test the CT that's connected. I'll turn the output on. That little button turns red when the output goes on, and I will tap above the variac. There are some directions right here on how to operate the variac, which is inside the test set. Okay, I have increased the voltage enough to get a valid ratio, and you can see that it reads 800.03. It'll fluctuate a little bit with noise on the power, but basically any reading you take will be within 0.1%, assuming you have, normal quality sinusoidal power. Okay, that is the essentials of the ratio test. I can now record my output XV, which is 12 point some odd volts, my input, which in this case is 0.078, and the angle, which gives you the polarity. 0 degrees, of course, is in phase, and if it's connected as marked, that is the CT has the correct polarity. There's a green flag down here that also tells you the polarity is okay. If it was reversed, that flag would be red and tell you the polarity was reversed. And that is the essentials of the test, except I can also, if I have it hooked up, the serial port hooked to a PC with Excel running and a keyboard wedge, I can write directly into Excel by tapping the PC key. You notice it flashed red momentarily, and that's when I was sending the data to the PC. And that is the gist of the ratio test. What I'll do now is I'll run the pointer, the variac, back down to 0. You notice that as the voltages drop below the measuring range, it will say no data on the ratio number block, and no data will appear in a gray flag down here. Turn the output off. The output de-energizes.